to further discuss the question of stability of BGP in September 2017 after
Луна находилась в третьем доме, долгожданная спецификация BGPSec
the
наконец-то стала
specifications of the
стандартом. Вот что
BGPSec
это
became
для
standard.
других домов,
What it means
нам сейчас расскажет Александр Азимов. Пожалуйста, вас.
for us. Alexander Azimov will tell us what it means for us. My name is Alexander Azimov. I work for the clubs. I'll tell you a few words about the new protocol BGP, which appeared less than 2 weeks ago. The protocol appeared not only on the RFC, but I'm not gonna tell you much about what each of the documents has, but work on this document was a long one. We do have the result now. It's good to have a result, but why do we need it in the first place? First of all, it solves the risk, the BGP risk problem. Just like my colleague before me, who told you about the risk emanating from the clicks, another risk is hijacking. Currently, there are no fully fledged mechanisms to validate the sources of the announcement. The hijacking problem appeared a long time ago. What we have now is we have Repic I and root objects. APKI KI is a very good database, but there are vulnerabilities that but both systems are vulnerable, so the vulnerability is everywhere. And we have an autonomous system, and we're attackers. Our task is to announce this space of the victim for everyone in the world for the victim to use their RPKI or art objects. For this, we need to add the autonomous number of the victim. You can add any number of the autonomous system and pass both RPKI filters. In terms of root objects, you need to add into a number of the number of the attacked system. What does BGPSec brings? All the numbers, including the numbers of autonomous system. Together with RPKI, BGPSec provides for or makes it impossible to interfere into the system and conduct the hijacking. Is it ideal? No. But the problem that we have with the productivity, and the second problem is the compatibility with the BGP. As soon as we have the back compatibility, we lose all the perks. The third problem is that you will not be able to find the BGPSec in the plans of the future releases. And it's a problem that you can try to solve. Try to find your vendor in the ENOG conference and ask them or hint to them that you would really like to see the BGPSec within this calendar year. If BGPSec is once widely deployed, this will bring down your personal risk of losing control over your space. Will it help? It's possible, but there'll be a bigger chance for success. Thank you. Good afternoon, Dmitry Burkov. Thank you for the presentation, but I don't know which side you're on. I'll remind you, we have three things. RPKI, which is equivalent to a piece of paper. We started using RPKI because at first we wanted to issue certificates. Secondly, object personalization. And third thing, what we have now, pass validation. This ITF blocked the ideas offered by the Steve Kent implement in China, which allow for more flexible approach. You can have many verifications, many TAs. You need to change the protocol. BGPSec has been used before. When I see the BGPSec, I remind myself who sponsored this work and who continues to sponsor this work. And you know, in the United States, there are a lot of people who resist this approach, who don't like the externally pushed to them solution to the problems, non-existent problems. Even you are trying to use the problem by a different approach. It's difficult to answer such a big question. My opinion is that BGPSec together with RPKI will develop further. It can bring good, can do good if majority of the operators and vendors support it. It doesn't solve the technical problems. BGPSec guarantees only one thing, is that it just says that we're moving in the right direction. I also heard about pessimistic views on this among those who are co-authors of some RFCs. Or we can say that we will have hijacks and we're fine with that, but we can try to solve this problem. Sergei Staritsyn, Mosconnect. BGPSec, is it a full replacement of the BGP protocol, or is it an add-on? What does it happen to be? Does it have a back compatibility? Yes. It is a new protocol with which is compatible with the old one. It's not a new protocol. It's a spin-off. How will it look like, this back compatibility? Can I turn the BGPSec into a regular BGP by using some add-ons? But the compatibility will be provided by the check whether both sides can work with BGP. I don't think there'll be a problem. The problem is when during the computation all the signatures are removed. I have a commentary. I have a typical example of technology lobbied through IDF that will not be implemented in the end, because the implementation expecting full deployment is impossible because in the United States, whose government lobbied this technology, the majority of ISPs, they ignore this. Moreover, considering the central registry and the legacy, they guarantee them. I can guarantee you that the majority of the United States will not be using any of these protocols. I would suggest that we go back 10 years ago and hear the same thing about IPv6. I was told about IPv6 that in 2017 we will have 60% deployment of the IPv6. Now we have 16, not 60, but it's still a lot. Second microphone, please. Thank you. Is curator planning to implement this? The curator is not producing hardware, is not producing routers, so it shouldn't be addressed to us. You need to address to Huawei colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. Thank you, Alexander, for your presentation.